Hi, everyone. Are you going to say hi?
Oh, yes.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is our objectives video. We wanted to explain some things about the course that simply might go against some of your expectations for what an online course might be or do, and some differences between our poetry workshop and even the E210 course, creative writing course that you may have taken. For instance, you might notice that in each module we don't have bullet points and the language differs.
We don't expect you to have a mastery of certain skills at the end of this workshop. Instead, the goals and the objectives for each module are much more exploratory, and we are emphasizing process over content. We've made specific efforts in designing this course to have a generative outcome, for this to be productive for your own writing. And that is why writing and discussion and workshop are heavily emphasized in this course, and that's where the majority of our energy will be going, and the majority of your energy as well.
This is down to the fact that the first 4 workshops that the course has are live workshops, which you have probably noticed.
Workshopping is, it's not intuitive. People do it differently. And there's a specific workshopping culture that we would like to try to establish in those first few live synchronous workshops. Specifically, different kinds of language that we might be using to talk about poetry, which we'll then be using throughout the duration of the semester.
Because the kind of language that Cassie is talking about isn't immediately intuitive and has to be learned, we wanted to give you a really strong model for how it can be done so that later on in the semester you can workshop independently with a lot of confidence and a lot of success. And because we know that this is an online course and you're expecting most of your work to be asynchronous, independent, to come to it when you can during the week, we wanted to offset the fact that we're asking you to do some live events. So in the first 4 workshops, you only have to be there for 2 of them. There's a sign up very early on in the semester, and the 2 weeks that you are not in live workshop, you just don't have work for that portion of the week, and that's sort of our attempt to offset trying to get you to our event.
Another thing you'll notice as you encounter each module is that the structure varies from module to module. That was something that was really important to us as we were designing this, as we have very different purposes and objectives with each module. To make this varying organization a little more clear, we've included a table of contents. Sarah's going to talk a little bit about that.
So at the beginning of each module, you'll actually have a table of contents that lets you know what you're doing in the module, whether it's a discussion followed by a little mini lecture, which we call frames, or something we call experiments or writing prompts. So there are actually 5 or 6 kinds of writing you might be doing this semester. One, of course, is discussions, interacting with other writers around a text, and that might vary in format, whether it's all written online or maybe a video.
In terms of the writing that you'll be doing with your own writing, your own creative writing in the semester, they vary in terms of stakes. So there are very low stakes kinds of writing, such as writing prompts. Did you want to say anything additional about that?
Sure, these are pretty localized. They're often just trying to write 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, focused on a very particular skill or technique or term.
And then you'll also be doing experiments. These will not be collected for the most part, but they can contribute to work that you then choose to revise for your final portfolio. So just because we aren't collecting it doesn't mean you shouldn't try it out. You're going to be doing more writing than anything that we collect in this class, as with any in-person class where you have a writing notebook, for example, that you are doing your own work in.
So every module has an assignment at the end that you'll be practicing the terms, techniques, concepts of the module in a whole poem. You will turn those in and get limited feedback from us. You'll also be doing writing in response to other writers' work. That's the nature of workshop. And then, as Cassie said, we encourage you to continue writing, and you're here because you want to write. So there will be other writing that you do independently that doesn't have to do with your grade, but we hope is generated by the work that we've offered you in this course.
If you're confused about any of this, a few things. One, remember to refer to the table of contents, then you know exactly what kinds of writing prompts you'll be doing in a given module. You have a sense of which of these are high stakes, worth more points, and low stakes, worth fewer points, and which you might be doing on your own. You should also carefully read the portfolio description so you have an understanding of how all of these assignments and all of these modules will be working to culmination at the end of the semester. Please read the syllabus as well. There will be a quiz on the syllabus, in fact, just to make sure that everyone is 100% clear on what is expected of them in this course. And lastly, these experiments that we've mentioned that serve a generative purpose, the first time they occur in a module, they will come with descriptions. So we hope that through the portfolio description and through the syllabus and through these instances that you encounter in each module, it will be very clear what our expectations are and everything will be reinforced.
There's also a place in the course we call the kitchen table. This is actually because we love side conversations. We love those moments when people come into class and chat before class or share recipes or have a random thought about a poem that doesn't seem to fit into a discussion in class, but people like to go off on tangents.
And there's a risk of losing that with an online format, and we didn't want to lose that. It's
Right.
a way for us to build our workshop culture and our classroom culture and get to know each other a little better, especially when we're sharing our creative work with each other.
And so if there's ever anything you want to talk about that may not have to do with the course, maybe you want to share a recipe, or maybe you have a question about the syllabus, you could try the kitchen table first. And if you don't get answers there, then please email us. We'll be happy to respond with clarity. So we're really excited to work with you this semester. This is work that we enjoy doing. This is how we met, and we put a lot of work into this course to make it something that'll be really useful for you and as useful for you online as it would be face to face.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys soon.